The U.S. military says it's begun an 11th consecutive day of airstrikes against Iran. Attacks are taking place across the country. Iranian media is reporting air defences have gone off in the capital, Tehran, which so far has not been targeted in the latest round of escalation. Tabriz in the northwest has been targeted for a second straight day, and explosions have been reported on Iran's southern coast. Well, a blast has also been reported in Behbahan, that's in Iran's southwestern Khuzestan province. A video from the area shows a large plume of dark smoke rising into the air. Al Jazeera's Tohid Asadi joins us live now from Tehran. Tohid, so Iranian media is reporting that Tehran's air defences were activated in response to what it called hostile threats. What more can you tell us about what's happening there in the capital where you are?
Well, indeed, over the past 1 hour or so, we have been able to hear the sounds of massive explosion here in the northwestern of the Iranian capital. Also, according to the latest reports that we have, we know that also in the eastern area, similar reports have been coming about the same issue, the activation of the air defense system across the Iranian capital again. And of course, we don't have much detailed information about if any attacks have happened, but the latest again from the official sources is that they have been activated due to some hostile objectives, and this is not just for the first time. We know that during the course of this new round of escalation, once we had the same issue of the activation of the air defense system across the skies of the capital.
Yeah, and Tohid, the U.S. military, CENTCOM, has just released a statement saying they've started an 11th night of attacks on Iran. Talk to us about what's happening outside the capital.
Yes, indeed. This is yet another night of exchange of fire, as also the Iranian side is talking about their retaliatory strikes targeting U.S. military assets across the region, including in Kuwait. But speaking of the country, we know that the southern coastal cities of Iran have been witnessing the sustained nature of this campaign of airstrikes. According to the latest that we have, we know that the Tasnim news agency reports that in the city of Mahshahr, in the vicinity of city, explosion sounds are reported, and that is critically important given the fact that Mahshahr hosts the nuclear power plant for the country, and that runs the risk of the environmental potential damages, even though so far we don't have confirmed information about the attacks targeting the plant itself. Also, we know that in other cities in Khuzestan province, two important cities, as you mentioned earlier, the one Behbahan, and also another one, Omidiyeh, which is important, seeing that it hosts some of the energy infrastructure of the country. Attacks and airstrikes are reported also in the city of Mahshahr. We know that the same reports are coming in Hormuzgan province. We've got some initial reports, but still later on the local authorities came out to deny any attacks taking place up until the moment. And also we know that in Tabriz, in the northwestern parts of the Iranian territories, far from the southern coast indeed, similar incidents are reported.
And Tohid, how have Iranian officials been responding to these nightly U.S. airstrikes now in their 11th night?
This is actually not for the first time, but the message that we can hear from the political establishment all in all is that of resilience and defiance. And every time an attack takes place, Iranians are coming out to say that there are going to be retaliations, there are going to be repercussions, and they are going to continue to strike back the American military assets across the region. The latest, as I mentioned earlier, was the U.S. military assets in Kuwait, not for the first time again, but also they are saying that there are going to be no de-escalation as far as the American airstrikes continue to target the southern coast. Right now, there is not much of talks when it comes to potentiality for diplomatic engagement, but what we see is a rhetoric based on further confrontation. And the other day, we have been hearing from some military sources saying that in case of the continuation of these attacks, Iran's approach is going to shift from actually defensive approach to a rather offensive approach, running the risk of what Iranian sources and Iranian officials are calling dragging the war beyond the region, beyond what the advisor to the supreme leader called political boundaries. And on that, they said that if that happens, there are going to be potentialities for full-fledged, all-out war scenarios.
Tohid, just a final thought to you. You've been out and about talking to people in the capital where you are. What are they making of these nightly U.S. attacks?
It's indeed a mixture of different sentiments highlighted by a public anger over the continued airstrikes, as we know that this is not just a military sites being targeted, but also we have reports over the past few nights about the explosions on residential areas and civilian casualties, more importantly in that regard. But in addition to that public anger, we know that there is this rally around the flag impact, and outside here in the capital, even at this hour that we are speaking late night, we can witness the gatherings of some of the people to express their anger, to express furthermore their support and solidarity with the political establishment. But also we know that there is, when we speak about war, there is certainly this psychological and actually economic impact war is putting on the ordinary lives, on the actually livelihoods and pockets of very ordinary citizens across the country. That is creating obviously a sense of uncertainty and frustration as the country stands before a dilemma of confrontation, the continued confrontation for not a very actually anticipated period. They don't know how long it's going to continue, or there might be a potentiality for diplomatic settlement, for a long-lasting solution, about which I can say people are not that much hopeful at this current moment.
All right, Tohid Asadi, live for us there in the Iranian capital, Tehran. Tohid, thank you.